When you think you know, and you don't, you're in the domain of assumed reality, and that is where you suffer. Said differently, you suffer because you assume reality to be a particular way. You assume reality to be a particular way based on your biases, your belief systems, your culture, your faith, and your lived experiences. And reality is oftentimes simply not that way. When you insist that it is so, then you are unable to adapt, transform, move towards diversity and inclusion, move towards a better and a different way of perceiving life. And through that resistance to change, you suffer. Hi, my name is Fiona D'Souza. I run a rapid transformation process called the Shekhinah experience. Having had an experience myself where the rug was literally ripped out from underneath me, where I was the proverbial trapeze artist with no net, I came across this work, and this work was my net. And in that moment, I realized that I didn't have an option but to share this with others, to provide some sort of support system, to provide a knowing deep within yourself that you are more than capable, more powerful, more magnificent, more intelligent than you know possible. And in that moment, you take your own power back and you live the best version of yourself possible. We live in a world where there's this idea of a scarcity mentality, where if one person is performing or excelling or making use of resources, that there won't be sufficient for others, and that is simply not so. The world that I come from through this work says that there is an abundance of resources and life to be lived for everyone, that every person can step into their own personal power. Struggle is inevitable. Yes, we are going to face those moments when life hurtles us through space with no safety net, and yet suffering is an option. Suffering is a choice. Through my work, I offer people the ability to stand on a firm foundation of self-awareness while experiencing and enjoying this process we call life. I know, I've been there. In many ways, perhaps not their particular experience, and yet there's a theme, there's a common theme, if you like, the theme of betrayal, loss, anguish, fear, self-sabotage. And so in those moments, while I can identify with those experiences, what moves me towards this not being a heavy burden to carry is that moment when you see that shift, that moment when you see the realization dawn in the other person, when they know that they are more capable, when they know that they have the power within themselves, that moment that shifts everything for them relieves the heaviness or the burden, if you like, for me. That moment is worth carrying the darkness, carrying the heaviness that seems to dissipate so quickly and so easily, and I seem to be able to leave that behind so easily when I get that shift, that moment when those eyes light up again, almost like plastic surgery, when suddenly a face becomes lighter and younger when they realize their own power. To experience this world and all the richness of what it has to offer, being excited when another being is showing up as the best version of themselves possible, really riding that wave of celebrating one another, marveling at how incredible we are as a species, the things we are capable of achieving, the way in which we're able to interact and engage with each other in, let's call it, positive mindsets, reverence for all of life. Diversity is said to be about who you are, your identity. Inclusion is about your lived experiences. My biggest offer on my Shekhinah Experience program is to integrate value systems of trust, respect, impeccability, integrity into who you are, beyond simply the rhetoric of the conversation. These value systems are ubiquitous. They transcend race, gender identity, culture, and faith. It is crucial to recognize and celebrate self while moving towards genuine and authentic adoption of diversity and inclusion mindsets. Socrates made a comment in which he said, "Know thyself." And at core, that is the essence of the Shekhinah experience. To know thyself beyond your identity, beyond your gender identification, beyond your culture, race, religion, and faith. If all of those are simply aspects of ourselves, then at core, who are we? What does it mean to be a human being? And that is the exploration that we dig into on the Shekhinah experience.